That is the video I came home to a couple months ago. Don't worry, everyone is okay. Lady was drunk driving, hit a couple other cars as well, but she's okay, and insurance helped out quite a bit. Lately, I've been spending all of my time and money on my drift car, and I've been really neglecting my daily driver. So I think it's time to finally give this thing a birthday. Here's a quick list of everything that I do want to get fixed. From the crash, I need to fix the fender, replace the headlights, put a new grill into it, and that's it. The other things were issues that I was having beforehand. My exhaust snapped off before the last muffler, right before the crash happened. Also, at some point before the crash, somebody shot my car up with a pretty powerful BB gun and left dents that scratched the paint, and it's now rusting, and also broke my mirror. And the last thing to top it off, in the past couple days, my clutch pedal has been feeling a little off. Sometimes it's not fully returning, so I'm assuming that it is going to be the clutch master. Normally, I shoot for slave cylinder first, but it is an internal slave, so we're gonna do the master first. The machine itself is a 2007 Nissan Versa hatchback with a 6-speed manual. Has 152,000 miles on it. I've owned it for I think 5 years now, maybe 4. I don't take very good care of this car, but I think it's time that we finally start giving back because this thing has been pretty damn good to me. There's a fucking semi outside. What I'm gonna start with today is I wanna get this front bumper off, get the grill out, get the headlights out, and if I can, get this fender off, or at least find a good way to be able to hammer out this dent. Okay, we got some work done. Didn't come out as nice as I was kind of hoping, but it will do for now. We ended up fixing the fender the best that I could. I hammered it out, but I was kind of expecting that I'd be able to hammer that dent out a little more, but I didn't want to push it and potentially crack the paint. So I did the best that I could. New headlights, did get those in. Saw some bad reviews on them, but they fit great and everything works. So happy with that. The new grill, my old one had a bunch of clips broken and was also fading really bad. This one, brand new. So we knocked out the whole front end today. I am out of time, I gotta get home and get to work, but I'm happy with what I got done, so I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, day 2, we're gonna keep things a little simple because I'm sore. There's 2 things that I would like to get done today. I wanna get the driver's side mirror replaced, and I would like to remove the axle back on the exhaust. I'll explain that part whenever we get under the car. And this is a tip for anyone that has ever broken their side mirror before, or the glass at least. You don't have to replace the whole mirror. You can actually hop on like Amazon and you can buy just the glass, and they're for the most part pretty easy to pop in. I replaced both of my mirrors on my Miata with these Amazon mirrors and they work great, and they were pretty easy to install as well. This one even comes with instructions. Remove the dangling muffler, remove the heat shield that was rattling above it. Use those sketchy O'Reilly's muffler hangers for here, but it's not making any noise anymore, and nothing else rattles. That was one thing that was driving me nuts, was my exhaust rattled when I was sitting at stop signs. Day 2 has come to a close. I'm out of time, but we got the new mirror in, and we fixed the exhaust. So I'm going to let this rock how it is for a little while, because it's actually nice to have that muffler gone, because I don't know if you've ever driven a stick shift car that has a quiet exhaust. It's a little hard to drive, so it's kind of nice to be able to hear something. Later down the line, I do want to weld something else to it, get it to the end of the car, maybe quiet it down a little, but not as much as that big ass muffler. The last 2 things on this list that I want to do is fixing all those rusty dents, which I'm not going to fix properly because I hate bodywork, but I have a plan. But the biggest one is fixing the clutch master cylinder. I believe it comes in the mail tomorrow. It's a bit of a pain in the ass job on this car, but I think that's going to be the last thing that I really want to do to make sure this car is driving the way that I want it to. So I'll see you in the next day. Day 3, pretty simple. We are focusing on stopping the rusty dents. Sorry that I'm so dead in these videos. I film these things first thing in the morning. I wake up, come straight to the shop because I work afternoons. So the game plan with these dents, I'm not going to properly body work them, do anything like that. My main thing is to just stop the rust. So I have a plan to make it look not as shit as actually using sandpaper and sanding it down. I'm going to use a Dremel and actually grind down the rusty bits and a little bit past that to make sure that it's all cleared out. Then I'm going to spray some Steel It into the cap of the can, grab a paintbrush, and lightly paint the parts that I've grounded down, just so then it's covering the bare metal. It will just leave some gray dots behind, but later on I can try to find some color matched paint and just do the same thing and paint over it. It'll be pretty obvious to see that it was repaired, but it won't be rusty and it won't just be Steel It gray. So let's start by just grinding down all the dents. I think I mentioned earlier what caused all these rusty dents. It was a BB gun. I guess some kid that lives by me thought it would be funny to shoot a pretty powerful BB gun at my stuff. And it hit on the hatch, on the front door, and the fucking annoying one is he got under the rear door handle. Fuck that kid for that. And not only did he shoot my car, he also fully peppered the entire side of my house. There was holes in all throughout the siding of my house, and also the way that I found out about this and that it was a BB gun is that he also hit one of my windows. And if you've ever seen house windows, sometimes there's two different panes. And he shot through the screen, hit the first pane, went through it and cracked the window. And then when I opened the window up and looked down, the BB was still sitting there. It didn't make it past the second pane. So that's how I discovered that it was a BB gun that did all this. And then it was almost like a year later when somebody decided to drive into my house in my car. So it's nice to finally be getting to this stuff and getting this fixed. And all the siding's been fixed on the house. Just haven't fixed the glass yet, which I don't know if I ever will, because it's just a tiny little hole. But I can actually look through the hole of the glass and through where the screen was. It came in at an angle and it pointed directly at their window. But they moved out pretty quickly after that, so nothing ever came of it. I'm letting the first coat of the paint dry, and then I'm just gonna hit it a second time, and then I'm calling it for the day. Okay, second coat is now on. One last thing on the list. Like I said, the master cylinder is supposed to come in the mail today. I don't think I'm going to start on it tomorrow. I think I might wait a couple days, but that is the last part that I want to do, and then once the verse is all cleaned up and good to go, I can finally start on my Miata. I have another Miata. We'll get to that then. I'll see you in the next clip. Today is the day. Master cylinder. New cars are really weird. This is the newest car I've ever owned. It's a 2007, and the systems on this thing are really wonky to me. When I first started noticing that the clutch pedal would kind of stay on the floor a little bit or not fully return, you'd feel it not wanting to fully come back. First thing I thought, slave cylinder. Let's do that first. It's an internal slave. I would have to remove the transmission. We're not doing that. So I looked it up, and a lot of people say that the master cylinders on these like to go bad. This is the master cylinder. It shares the reservoir with the brakes. That's weird. From what I've seen, it doesn't look too hard. The only thing is going to be bleeding it is a little weird. It's not like a normal slave cylinder that has just a bleeder valve that you crack. You actually have to take the system, pop it into a bleeding mode, and then you can bleed it that way. So you really aren't able to pump it and then crack the bleeder. It's more of you open it, hook a hose up into a different bottle full of brake fluid, and then you just keep pumping it until you hope all the air is out. I don't really trust that way of doing things, but I don't think I have much of an option. Doesn't really seem too hard to do though. I just need to start off with taking off the battery and removing the air box. What am I doing? I have electric tools. This way of clamping down a battery is stupid. And there is the clutch master. First, I need to remove the line leading from the clutch master, goes behind the booster and goes to right here. Need to remove that, and then I can pop back this pin right here. Then I can remove the hose from the master completely and pull it out. I put a tray down there and it was like 2 inches off. Fuck. I don't have a good way to get you guys any closer, but there's a pin right here, and I just need to pop it back one position. And remember kids, brake fluid is corrosive. It will rust through your paint. Use a full can of brake clean on everything. So now I should be able to grab the master cylinder, turn it clockwise about 15 degrees, and then it should just pop right out, and then I gotta feed that vacuum line all the way through. Or no, that's a brake line, it has fluid in it, sorry. Oh shit, I gotta disconnect it from the pedal. Oh, that was easy. There we go. And always remember to compare your two parts before you install. Now it's time for the really weird bleeding process. The nipple that you're supposed to connect to is that one right there. Let me pop the cap off. You connect a hose right there, and right to the left there's a clip that's the same as the other one. You gotta pop it up one position, then you can pull that whole system back, and that's the open, as if you were to crack open a bleeder. And then popping it back forward closes it. So you're supposed to pull it back, connect a hose to that, going to the brake fluid reservoir, and then you could just pump your brakes, and whenever all the air is out, you could just pop it back in. First, I'm going to top this off quite a bit, but you can't just shove a hose down there. There is a filter that you need to remove first, or else you wouldn't be able to get the hose all the way in. So it has been a couple days, and boy did things go really bad. So whoever decided to design the clutch bleeding system the way that they did, fuck that guy. Bleeding the clutch on that was an absolute nightmare. It's not like a normal bleeder screw like you use with brakes on or slave cylinders like normal. It's a system where two pieces of plastic meet each other, and the whole situation of doing it sucks. But it's bled. So now we can finally take this off the list. Everything is done except one last thing, and that is to wash the car. Detail boys are gonna hate me for that. So that kind of concludes the refresh of the daily. I fixed a whole bunch of issues it was having. It drives super nice now. The front end doesn't look like it got fucking driven into. If you're a detailing guy, just ignore everything you just watched. I haven't bucket washed a car in years. I really wanted to go back and hit it with some quick detailer, really clean the windows up, and really make this thing shine, but it's gonna rain tomorrow, so that's kind of pointless. But that's where I'm going to end it. Next, I'm going to start knocking things out on the Miata and start getting that thing driving nice. And then after that, I can start spending time on the 240 again. But that's all I got. So thank you for watching.